Hello and welcome back to Annie Recapped. Today we bring you the series Wang, Guai, Hualang. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon for similar content. Let us begin. In this world, appearances are all that matter. People who are naturally attractive enjoy a variety of perks and luxuries, whereas those who lack beauty face prejudice and discrimination. The news shows that the president of beauty declared a new law, which states that people that are ugly are disallowed from leaving their houses. If they do not abide, they will be captured and imprisoned. Xiaohu, our main character, is just an average-looking man who leaves his home to attend a job interview. While walking to the office, he notices cops pursuing a man because he is ugly-looking. At the interview, he is granted a 90-day trial period. On the other hand, his attractive co-worker receives a higher position and all the privileges. His co-worker is a bully who humiliates him in the office for being an average-looking guy and even takes him to his place, forcing him to do her house chores. After a grueling day, Xiaohu arrives home to be greeted by his sister, who does not meet society's standards for beauty and is barred from leaving their residence. She asks him if she will ever be able to leave the house, and he assures her that he will do whatever it takes to allow her to walk the streets confidently. The following day, while heading to work, Xiaohu notices the beauty president all over the billboards. She demonstrates individuals who attempted to modify their appearances through surgery, which is deemed illegal in their nation, and as a result, they are given a death sentence. After being bullied at his office, he returns home to find his sister missing. He finds her usual hiding place but is still unable to find her. Just then, a passage beneath him opens and he falls into a pit where he encounters a mad scientist. The scientist takes him in to perform experiments on him and locks him in a chamber. Suddenly, he gets raided by the police but manages to fend them off easily. An explosion occurs and a woman of great beauty emerges from the rubble, which stuns the officers. Seeing the police act differently, she looks at herself in the mirror and it turns out that she is Xiaohu, who has become a beautiful woman following the experiment led by the scientist. As soon as he leaves, people start bowing to him as they have never seen someone more attractive than him. He is offered the highest position at his office, and the woman who bullied him earlier now works under him. Xiaohu, with his newly achieved status, sets himself a new goal, which is to change his sister's appearance so that she can have a better life. Meanwhile, the four knights working for President Beauty are informed about the newly emerged beauty, and together they plan to ambush Xiaohu. The next day, while enjoying her beauty privileges, Xiaohu is informed about a prison for ugly people, some of whom are to be executed due to the shortage of cells. Upon hearing this, he decides to visit a library with the manager to look for more information about the prison. Inside, he learns about aesthetic seismography from a book but immediately gets jumped by one of the four knights. On the rooftop, he is faced by Bright, who draws her powers from light. Before she could attack Xiaohu, the manager shuts off her searchlights, cutting her source of energy. Xiaohu easily defeats her and catches hold of a key that was on her. After that, he decides to visit the prison by herself to free the captives. Meanwhile, President Beauty's knights choose to send their only male warrior to face off against Xiaohu. At the prison, the captives are treated horribly, and they believe that they are stuck here forever and that no one is coming to save them. Even if they are freed from this hell, they will still be prohibited from leaving their houses due to their appearances, making them a slave in their own homes. Xiaohu approaches the prison with his newly acquired abilities, which are robot drones programmed to attack anyone who is uglier than him. He defeats all the correctional officers and enters the prison to free the captives. However, he is interrupted yet again by one of the four knights, who introduces himself as Mei Xiaohua. According to him, men are the epitome of beauty and perfection in the universe. Despite already knowing that Xiaohu is prettier than him, he uses flowers and roses to make himself look better. When he fails to match her beauty scale, regardless of his efforts, he gets frustrated and attacks Xiaohu. Because of the attack, Xiaohu is forced to cover his face, which makes him look less attractive. Noticing this, the drone robots prepare to attack him, but he cleverly throws sand at Mei Xiaohua, who is now forced to close his eyes, making him look even less attractive. The drones once again turn their attention toward him, and seeing no escape from the situation, he gets on his knees and swears his loyalty to Xiaohu. Only those who serve someone attractive in that world continue to thrive. Thus, he saves his life by bowing to Xiaohu. After the encounter with the knight, he proceeds to free the captives, but the manager stops him from doing so. She believes in the superiority of attractive people and opposes the idea of letting ugly people roam in the streets. Xiaohu explains to her that looks do not reflect the goodness in someone's heart, but she continued to defend the system that benefits her. Since she is opposing someone more beautiful than her, the robots lock onto her to kill her. Xiaohu gives her another chance to change her mind, but she refuses, and thus she is evaporated by the drones. Xiaohu frees the prisoners, and while addressing them, she tells them that they are free people and can do whatever they want from now on. However, they argue that life won't be any better for them in the outer world, and a brawl starts between them. Once again, it all comes down to who is more attractive than the others. Seeing that nothing has changed, Xiaohu wonders about his next plan of action. Just then, Mei Xiaohua approaches him and hands him the key that he possesses. He tells him that all knights have one piece of the key, and when combined together, it opens the gate to President Beauty's room. Hearing this, he decides to find the remaining pieces to confront her and change the world. The world is still running the same system where pretty people get perks and the ugly ones are left stranded. However, amidst all this, Xiaohu is growing his company and is still looking for the last two remaining knights. Mei Xiaohua is still by his side, assisting him in all his endeavors. After showering, he gets a surprise visit from one of the missing knights, who brings drones of her own. Initially, Xiaohu is not worried since he is prettier than her, but things change when the knight uses her makeup skills to make herself look more attractive than him. Seeing this, the drones attack Xiaohu, but she manages to evade their lasers. While the knight thinks Xiaohu is running away from the drones, she leads them to see a bad angle of the knight. The drones deem her an ugly person from that angle and kill her, giving Xiaohu access to the third piece of the key. Meanwhile, the last knight prepares to face off against his opponent Xiaohu, who locates her with the help of Mei Xiaohua. They arrive at the rendezvous but suspect that something is slightly off. The woman at the reception shows them the way to the elevator and tells them that the last knight, Belle, is waiting for them on the topmost floor. Xiaohu leaves Mei behind and rides up alone to face the final knight. When he reaches the top, he notices that the final knight is facing the other way from her. As he prepares to attack her, she turns around, and surprisingly, the knight turns out to be his sister, who went missing several days ago. As the drones prepare to eradicate her, Xiaohu steps in front of her to save her from the lasers. However, it turns out that the knight Belle has a reflector, which gives her the ability to take the appearance of anyone she wants, and she is, in fact, not his sister. She attacks Xiaohu and leaves a huge mark on her face, which makes the drones turn toward her. As they prepare to attack, Mei Xiaohua appears and destroys the reflector, and thus the drones turn once again and kill Belle off. After collecting the final piece and making the key, they visit the palace of President Beauty. At the entrance, Mei Xiaohua tells him about the past of Lord Beauty. He says that people used to live normally 3 years ago, until she proposed a division of society based on looks. However, the proposition was rejected by the ministers, and Lord Beauty mysteriously disappeared from the palace. Upon her return, she ordered the execution of all the ministers who opposed her, and only left 4 knights to guard her. All the previously disabled robots started functioning again, and no one really knows how she did all of that. As the two approach the palace, they see dozens of drones venturing inside. Upon reaching the main gate, Xiaohua states that he cannot proceed further as the entrance is blocked by a barrier that only allows those with 5-star beauty to go inside. Hence, Xiaohu enters the palace alone and confronts Lord Beauty, who asks why she wants everyone to be equal. He ignores her and tries to enter the room behind the throne, but Lord Beauty extends the barrier of her palace into the main city, killing off thousands of people. She creates a new world where everyone with less than 1 star of beauty rating is eradicated. However, this is only the beginning, as she claims that this is only the first phase of the filtering. Lord Beauty addresses the citizens and informs them that there will be a total of 3 waves. She further says that everyone will die in those waves, and only the most beautiful people will survive in the end. Meanwhile, Xiaohu is still looking for his sister and finds her locked behind a safe. When he enters the safe, he is surprised to learn that his sister has, in fact, taken the appearance of Lord Beauty, and that she has been ruling the world for 3 years. The person who created this system and who plans to eradicate all the ugly people is his sister. When he asks her why she did all of it, she kicks him out of the safe. Just then, he meets the scientist who turned him into a woman, and he gives her a sample of the noble blood. The scientist tells her that she must enter the room that resides behind Lord Beauty's throne if he wants to change the world. He further says that he is the only person out of all the people he made beautiful that wants to change the world for the better. Meanwhile, Xiaohu's sister reminisces about the time when she met the real Lord Beauty. One day, while freeing a turtle who was stuck near the palace, she is approached by Lord Beauty. Scared and unsure about what to do, she begs her not to punish her for coming close to her palace. Lord Beauty helps her, and it turns out that she was never an evil person after all. Seeing her good side, she opens up to her and tells her how she is locked up in her house due to the fact that she is ugly. Hearing this, Lord Beauty tells her that looks have little to no impact on a person's beauty. She says that there are many good-looking people that have ugly hearts, and there are many ugly-looking people that have good hearts. This infuriates the sister, and she yells at the Lord, saying she will never understand what it is like to be in her shoes. Seeing her frustration, Lord Beauty invites her into her palace and shows her all the devices she made when she was a child, along with the aesthetic seismography which has been passed down to her through generations of her family. She reveals that aesthetic seismography has the power to decide what should be worshipped in the world, and she further tells her that her ancestors decided that the people should only worship beauty. However, Lord Beauty herself doesn't support this idea and is unsure about what to do with the aesthetic seismography. The sister steals one of Lord's inventions and uses it to turn her into an old man. That old man is the mad scientist who turned Xiaohu into the beautiful woman he is now. Following this, the sister steals another invention of Lord Beauty, which allows her to take the appearance of anyone she wants. She takes the appearance of Lord Beauty, who tells her that the device will stop working in 3 years' time, and her real identity will be revealed to the whole world. Upon hearing this, she tells her that she will have the best life in the coming 3 years, and once the device stops working, she will kill everyone in the world, along with herself. Just then, she activates all the robots in the lab to attack the scientist, but he runs away using one of his other inventions. Thanks to another one of his inventions, Xiaohu learns the truth about his sister and what she has done to Lord Beauty. Just then, the real Lord Beauty appears in front of him, and she tells him that the only way to stop her is to change the setting of aesthetic seismography to kill someone else instead of ugly people. Xiaohu doesn't want something like this to ever happen again, so he decides to destroy the aesthetic seismography entirely. However, he is told that doing so will cost him his life, but being fed up with the discrimination everyone faces in the current world, he decides to sacrifice himself for a better cause. He uses a robot to destroy the aesthetic seismography and makes the world a better place for everyone at the cost of his own life. 1 year has passed since the incident, and because of Xiaohu's brave feat, the world is safe from discrimination and beauty is no longer worshipped. Lord Beauty has regained her appearance along with her rightful spot to the throne. She has instituted new chief ministers in the palace and also has Mei Xiaohua by her side, both of whom will assist her in running the country's affairs. Meanwhile, the authorities are looking for the culprit who took the appearance of Lord Beauty and caused so much suffering in the world, and this is exactly why Xiaohu's sister has gone into hiding. On the bright side, everything has turned back to normal and people no longer receive perks on the basis of looks. Everyone has become equal and people are continuing with their daily lives. Wow, what a dark anime that was, with an unusual main theme. What do you guys think? And does any other similar animes come to mind watching this? Let us know in the comments. For now, that's it from us. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.